makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part.
A new study has shown that crypto is actually more unequal than the rest of the non-crypto economy, and this should come as no surprise to anyone who hasn't realized that crypto is basically, a small group of very influential, very financially powerful people promoting it, benefiting from it, basically the scam artists, and then there's everyone else. So let's look at what this study says, according to an article that came in the Wall Street Journal. So Bitcoin's 1% controls lion's shares of cryptocurrency's wealth. New research shows that just 0.01% of Bitcoin holders controls 27% of the currency in circulation. So this is way, way higher than actual wealth, which is estimated, like in the US, the 0.01% controls, I think, something like 10% of wealth, which is an absurdly huge amount, but still. Yeah. It's good to be in the Bitcoin 1%. The top Bitcoin holders control a greater share of the cryptocurrency than the most affluent American households control in dollars, according to a study by the NBER. Yeah. So this is crazy. 0.1% control 27% of the 19 million Bitcoin in circulations. By comparison, the US, where wealth inequality is at its most extreme in decades, the top 1% of households control about a third of all wealth. So remember, this is the whole 1% controls a third of all wealth, whereas just 0.01% of Bitcoin holders control over a quarter. So that's insane. Yeah. I was too lazy to read the original article, by the way. That's why I'm quoting the Wall Street Journal, but it looks interesting. Yeah. So, oh, this is a good part as well. The vast majority of Bitcoin transactions, about 90%, are derived from two activities that have no actual economic foundation, the researcher said. The first activity is simply the way the network processes Bitcoin transactions. Think of it as the equivalent of making change for a 20 when you buy coffee. The second are transactions sent between wallets by the same user trying to obfuscate their identity, a common tactic for those seeking anonymity. So this is insane. Like, just imagine if like the bulk of all these transactions, which I should mention are very energy intensive. That's the main problem. Like, it's not just that crypto is so bad for the environment. The fact that 90% of its transactions are utterly useless, uh, in an economic sense, absolutely useless. I mean, imagine if 90% of the effort you made in like your daily transactions was getting change. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. No one in their right minds can say that this is an efficient form of exchange, which it isn't. Crypto is not really a currency. Okay, it's a particularly liquid asset. That's what it is. It's not really a currency. Anyway, yeah, of the remaining 10% volume, what the researchers called real volume, trading dominates. Transactions between exchanges and trading desks comprise roughly 75% of total volume, they said. By comparison, scams, gambling sites, and other illicit uses, which justifiably concern law enforcement and lawmakers, comprised less than 3%. That might seem like a small amount, but in the real economy, what percentage of all the money that is exchanged is from illegal transactions? It's probably much, 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 much smaller than this. Uh, yeah. So, uh, that's it. And I just want to, I made a video months ago about crypto and why, debunking the arguments that it's so democratic and so egalitarian. That's all bullshit, okay? Bitcoin is not democratic. It is not egalitarian. It is a scam that is being peddled by a small number of crypto influencers who will make money because they're invested in this in the long run. Uh, Regular, retail investors actually comprise a tiny volume of the amount of actual trading. And I'm going to show you a chart. This was in The Economist a couple of months ago. This is basically the scale of crypto trading between retail investors, and that's the sort of blue-gray bit, tiny. You can barely see it because it's clearly the minority. Professional investors, so guys with deeper pockets. These are probably a lot of the people, sort of, the crypto bros on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and whatever, are probably in this category. And as you can see, they completely swamp the amount of retail investors. And finally, you have the institutional ones, and those are banks. Those are financial institutions, etc., trading desks, etc. And as you can see, those dominate. So crypto, you as a retail investor, what is your democracy? How can you, if every single retail investor in crypto got together, how much could they change? How much could they move the market? Not much. You can clearly see that their influence is tiny compared to the influencer crypto bro dipshits and the big investors. So this is not a democratic market in any way. You are fooling yourself. You are fooling yourself if you think that crypto is democratic or that it's egalitarian. And in that previous video, I also showed data showing that, again, crypto is not an egalitarian market in any way. And I think the data speaks for itself. I mean, 0.1% controlling 27%. That is insane. That is insane. I can't imagine what the Gini index of the crypto market would be. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? This is, the arguments is that A, it's not democratic. B, it's not egalitarian. C, it's not a reliable source of long-term wealth. And I mean, you just look at this chart and tell me with a straight face that this is something that you would invest your life savings in. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. Now, if you have enough money to spare and you want to play the long game, go ahead, invest in crypto. I mean, nothing stopping you. But if you really, if you are one of the many, and I see this on Twitter, the people who are most adamant about defending crypto, not like the big crypto bros with blue checks in their profile. I mean, like the little guys who are obsessed by crypto and always end up defending it in any Twitter exchange where there's some criticism of it. These people really, really sound desperate. Like really, really sound desperate. And the lengths at which they go, that they're putting their, meager assets at risk is really worrying. And that's what's so problematic. That's what I find so despicable about crypto, that these influencer motherfuckers are basically using all these people who are desperate, who might not have great paying jobs, who might not have much in the way of savings, and they're making them believe that if they invest in this fucking snake oil, that they're gonna make it big one day. And it's really, really, really sad. So yeah, that's all I can say. In the previous video, I just want to mention one other thing. In the previous video, I explained that in the long run, you'll probably expect crypto to be much more stable, but it's that stability. So basically, there's two arguments: the argument that crypto will make you a shitload of money, and the argument that crypto is a safe long-term investment. And by definition, it can't be both. It just can't. Okay, it can't. This is trying to square a circle. You can't do this because the value of an asset is largely dependent on its volatility. The more volatile an asset is, the more reward you will get from that risk. You really want to make it big, invest in Venezuelan bonds. Their yields are pretty damn high for a reason. Don't invest in Japanese bonds, whose yields are very, very low for a reason. So it's the same with crypto. If crypto eventually stabilizes, then it will not be a source of instant gratification and wealth. So, and what I think the game is once one of these currencies matures enough that it reaches that level of stability, then people will simply jump to another one. And the whole game here will be to see which will be the next Bitcoin, the next Ethereum, the next Dogecoin, whatever. And you're just going to be jumping into them. And some will fail and people will lose their money. Some, a very small amount might succeed. But then what makes this different from investing in the stock market? And trying to guess which company is going to make it big in the next 5-10 years. None. There's no advantage to crypto. None. Zero. So to be honest, I don't think this video is gonna convince anyone, because crypto is a cult by now, and the people who have most invested their had most of their emotional investment in this are not going to change their minds until they see big losses. But hey, don't say you weren't warned. And on that note, if you like this video, please like, please share, most importantly, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.